Maya, what's it like to be back? And what's it like to be also back, coincidentally, the time when Caitlin Clark's here talking about how she hugged you when she was a young girl?
Yeah, it's so special just to be back, to be able to look people in the eye that I've had so many memories with this Lynx family. Um, Last night, being able to celebrate with Simone and Taj, and we did a Pack the Vote event last night too, just connecting with the community in that way. So just all the things that I love, the people and just the causes that we pour ourselves into. So it just felt like a perfect welcome back. But and then Caitlin, obviously the full circle moments. She was so well put for this game. It just feels like you couldn't have planned it any better.
Emotion wise, when you see your number up in the Raptors tonight, I mean, what's going through your mind, or what do you think is going to be going through your mind in that moment?
Whew, that's a good question. I think it will be. I think time will stand still a little bit. This is one of those things that, as you guys probably can guess, I don't necessarily think about a lot, but then I'm going to be forced to think about it in that moment and feel all the things of just gratitude and probably being very overwhelmed with just the ridiculous amount of talent and quality people I got to do it with, as it's going next to the other great players that I've gotten to play with.
Hey, you officially retired last year, but it's been a while since you played. Was there a moment in between last year and when you left the game after the 2018 season that you were like, maybe I would have come back? Is there anything that could have broken differently that would have made you come back?
I tried to take it a year at a time. The journey that I had was not expected, but it was exactly the journey that I was supposed to go on. And so the way my life was going and the amount of effort and presence that was required for where I was going, as each year went along, it didn't look like I could shift back. But I just wanted to kind of stay in the moment and also just keep things open until I was really sure. So I'm really glad of how I tried to approach that very strange process. But also even more glad that we're here now with closure and just being able to clearly move on and celebrate and just look back on all of the amazing things we did during our dynasty.
So you're saying you're never going to come back?
Well, yeah, no, I'm retired.
Thank you. Maya, Caitlin was in here, you mentioned her a moment ago,
Yeah.
and talking just so eloquently about what you mean to her.
Oh.
And there was the hug that she remembers.
Mhm.
Guessing maybe you probably hugged a lot of little kids.
Yeah.
Do you have any recollection of even that time period, or how many kids you might have been hugging at that time, or just anything? Because she remembers it so well, and
Yeah.
understandably, of course,
Yeah.
you were giving a lot of hugs back then.
Yeah.
Any thoughts at all? Thanks.
I know. Unfortunately, I don't. I love kids. I've loved kids since I was a kid, and so most times if a young person caught my eye, I was going to try to interact with them if I could. I probably have more memories of me being Caitlin's age, as a 10-year-old and hugging a Cynthia Cooper or a Cheryl Swoops. So it's just really, really cool to think about one of those little girls became Caitlin Clark. So I think it just goes to show you, when you just do your best to be in the moment and treat people with kindness, and just be present when you can, it really makes a big difference. And looking at the type of person and leader that she can be with people, was influenced by something that I did. And she can do the same for another little girl, little boy. It's just encouraging.
Ma, you talked about all the things you have going on in your life right now. How attached are you to the game? You watching games? Are you around it, or you kind of distance yourself a little bit?
Yeah, goodness, the game. It's complicated. The older you get, the more you realize this innocent game we grew up loving, in the business of basketball, and trying to navigate that tension of, we don't want to make the business of basketball all consuming, right? We want to always remember we're human beings first. And I wrestled with that in my young adult years, trying to navigate what does it look like for me to be a well, healthy, whole human, but also being in this basketball business. And so I think I've gotten some maturity in that and clarity of my connection now, of just trying to be a voice, trying to be a presence here and there to hopefully encourage people to appreciate people on a deeper way, these players in a deeper way, while also still being like, I love watching basketball. I love the game. It's beautiful. It's fun. Just especially the way the Lynx are playing right now. It just reminds me a lot of our teams as far as that chemistry, the toughness, the grit, having some depth, and really not caring who gets the credit. So I enjoy when teams and cultures show themselves on the court that way. And I hope it continues, that we can continue to see cultures like what the Lynx have always be a part of the game.
Yeah, Maya. Tonight's sponsored by Jordan Brand.
Yeah.
Just wanted to talk about, being the first female, on Jordan Brand, what that meant to you, that relationship throughout your career as well.
Yeah, that was also an unexpected part of my journey, being a senior in college and asking my agent, wait, say that again? Michael Jordan won. Okay, let's talk about this. And we made the partnership a reality, and the greater basketball world and the women's basketball world became more one, making the game better, I think more beautiful, exposing people who otherwise maybe wouldn't have seen the beauty of the women's game. And just, I think overall, speaking to dignifying, valuing, honoring women. That's really at the bottom of it all. What we aim to do in all of our partnerships is to make everyone feel worthy, and dignified and seen. So, as women, we have experience in our day and age of knowing what it's like not to feel as seen, but also seeing that change and the encouragement and the momentum and the beauty of when you see people more deeply and better. It just makes everything better.
Maya, you mentioned right over here this current Lynx team a little bit. Fellow Lynx from Jefferson City, Missouri, Nafisa Collier had a heck of a game last night.
Yeah, she did.
Career high in rebounds.
Whew.
What have your impressions of Fee been
this
season, as well as seasons past, and just how impressed are you with her game?
Yeah, she is on fire. I think that's what it says on the what is that thing called? The what? Yes, in the middle of the arena. The scoreboard. Thank you. Complicated word. On the scoreboard, it says Fee's on fire. Like, that is such an accurate way, because you can tell she's got that fire and a bounce in her step. She's in her groove, in her element, and she can do so many things well. And she doesn't care. Like, she doesn't care who gets the credit. Like, she was rolling there for a minute. I think it was in the third quarter, and it's one of those moments like, oh, she's gonna have a heat check, and she drives and she kicks it to the open player. Like, she's so just in focus. I can just tell that she is hitting her prime, and the sky's the limit for her. So I still just can't wrap my mind around our paths, how similar they are, meeting her as a freshman, somewhere around their 8th grade, 9th grade, and going to UConn and then getting drafted to the Lynx. And it's just really cool. I think that connection that we have because of that is just, we'll always remember.
Maya, what are the chances that we one day see Coach Maya, GM Maya, team owner Maya somewhere? I mean, what are the chances you have another official role in the WNBA at some point?
At this moment in time, that's not something that I see myself doing. But I always want to stay connected to the people somehow, in some way. And so right now it's sitting here tonight for my retirement.
Obviously when it comes to jersey retirements, it's about legacy. What does legacy mean to you in this moment?
Legacy, it's what you're remembered for. I think legacy hopefully is about how you treated people, how you carried yourself, what story you're telling the world with your life. And when people think of me, I think they think of passion. I tried to play as hard as I could. I think Coach Tebow, someone was saying the other day, he said I was relentless. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. I always had my foot on the gas. But I also tried to play with joy and just seeing people. celebrating the rookie that just got barely on the team to saying hey to the fans that have disabilities that show up every day for us, taking the time before every game to high five them, using my voice and my platform to shine a light on people that might not have a light on them. But I also worked my tail off, right? Like I feel like I tried to leave it all out there and role model what it looks like to just grind every day, but do it with joy. So you add that into all the other greatness that I had around me and you get what we got.
Maya, you've already done so much with your life. What is next for you?
What's next? Making sure JJ has a clean diaper, mom life, wife, mom, rooted in my community. You know, so many of us don't live this life of being on planes and out of a suitcase where we do the hard work of just being a member of our community, of our family. And so I'm looking forward to actually taking the wonderful culture and lessons I've learned from being a pro and bringing that to my people that I actually know and do life with, whether that's being a more engaged citizen, helping to shine a light on the teammates in my community that don't have a light on them, taking care of myself, making sure I'm well and healthy, and but I just definitely enjoying being a mom of a toddler right now and just establishing our family rhythm. You know, my husband and I have been married for 4 years and celebrate our anniversary last year, 4 years, and so we're working hard at figuring that out because that's not easy. If any of y'all are married, say woot woot. It's a lot of work to establish a system of a family, and so that's something I'm enjoying a lot right now. And there's probably some more books in my husband and I. There's just ways we want to vision cast and inspire people with our story. So there's just countless ways that we can continue on kind of the same things y'all were seeing with the off the court stuff, just without me on the court. So I'm excited to see what that looks like.
You had so many amazing moments as a Lynx team member.
Yeah.
Does one moment stand out as maybe one of your favorites, whether first game, last game?
Can't make me choose
first
one.
Top three.
Thank you. Gosh, the pressure of one. I mean, the shot, hitting that 1.7 seconds. Coach subs weigh in, even though she's hurt. Throw me the perfect pass. Sills causing attention down low. Indiana fans are losing their minds. All you see in that picture is just the fans just speechless as the shot is going up, and then the pump fake, one dribble right goes up. All I remember is it was so eerily quiet after the shot went in, and then Rebecca hugging me, and I'm like, oh, back to life. What happened? Did it count? Even though I knew it, I got it off, but we had to take that minute to figure out if it counted, and that was a memory. You don't get many opportunities to hit shots like those. And I think in 2016, when we had our press conference to say change starts with us, and just the catalyst that time was for the culture of sports that we didn't realize was going to be such a catalyst. And also just in 2017, winning at the U of M, and what a grind that series was, and watching Sil get MVP again. And it was so fun. That was we knew Way was getting close to the end for her, and that was really satisfying too. So my top three.
Thanks.
You have time for one final question.
This will complete the starting five of that 2017 team, all being in the Raptors forever. The only one who's still really here on the court is Coach Reeve.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with Coach Reeve since you've left the team? Have you stayed in touch at all? Just can you say anything just about her, what your relationship with her was as a player, and how that changed when you finished playing?
I was so thankful when I got drafted here to get to know Cheryl. Very similar to Gino, that fiery, Philly, I guess. One Philly to another Philly, but she's so smart and she's a teacher at heart, and I thrive under that. I really really enjoyed being coached by her. How she set us up for success and navigating so many personalities and talent. Like that's not easy. But we also kind of made it easy for her because we didn't care who got the credit. But that's hard to sustain that leadership and culture year after year after year after year, and she's still doing it. So I think her legacy speaks for itself with what you see in her players, and but she also cares about us as people. And when I was trying to process my shift and how I was going to navigate it, as heartbreaking as I know it was for her to hear more of what I was thinking and going through, she was like, you need to be okay and you need to do what you need to do. And I love her for that. I love her for being a person first, just like she is. Like she is who she is. Like how you guys see her, that's how she is. And I love that. But since retiring, I haven't been able to keep in touch with her as much as I'd like. But when we get together, it's just like I never left, and checking in on the family. And, if you ever need anything, she is who she is still. So can't wait to get to see her. I haven't got to see her yet, and just celebrate tonight.
Thank you, Maya.
Thanks, guys.